welcome back to another edition of the John Wayne Search Protector Podcast, a 60/40 production. I'm Eric Halsey.
Alex Midway and Alex Movie F over Midway, actually, as I came back from Lake Megan McCain out here in Tempe, Arizona, and too many people stay in the left lane for way too long.
Ain't nothing left about our sweet state.
Like God's country. And hey, man, as I was driving back, I started thinking there's a bunch of like plain Jeep. You know the whole Jeep duck thing?
Yep.
If you buy ducks for your own Jeep, is that stolen valor?
Okay, so I was wondering I assumed everybody was buying their own ducks. Are other people supposed to be giving you said ducks?
So the way I talked to a Jeep buddy, the way it's supposed to work out is your Jeep is so cool that you go in when you're at, Bed Bath & Beyond, and when you come out, someone has left a duck for you. And they're like, hey, man, that Jeep is awesome. And that's how you put the ducks up there. So now that everyone's just ordering a bunch of ducks themselves, is that stolen valor? Because you didn't earn those ducks.
I was not aware of that, but I can tell you for a fact, my boss had a Jeep about a year ago, and he bought himself a duck because he has Scottish heritage wearing a kilt.
Oh.
And he's a military man, so I cannot wait to have this stolen valor talk with him tomorrow.
Honestly, no one's going to leave him a duck with a kilt. That one I'll excuse. That's like a specific duck.
Well, this is what I honestly, I don't know if I'd consider that stolen valor or not. I do know whether somebody left the duck on your Jeep or you bought one yourself. Either way, you're a huge douchebag.
Very true. No matter if the entire dash is done up in ducks, like, I don't care if you got them, like, unless you have a performance Jeep or someone else, like, fully dressed up. Putting fender flares and angry eyes shouldn't be enough for a bunch of ducks.
I have another thing. Glad you brought up Jeeps. So I've always wanted a Wrangler. I've always thought it was the coolest thing. Just buy one, immediately throw the doors away. I'll never need this ever again. Over the past few years, I've realized Jeep Wrangler, top 5 most hated cars on the road. They are the RAV4 of Jeep. You will always find them in the left lane. They cannot go over 70 miles an hour if it's downhill and they're in free fall. And those people don't look in their rearview mirrors. So big thumbs down to Jeep Wrangler.
It's apparently everything starts rattling at 55. But the benefit to a Jeep Wrangler, at least the Gladiator edition, the X were in it. We rented it one time, and you cannot have a conversation with the person next to you, even if that T-top is not open. If you are ever going through marital problems or anything else, and you want to be like, you know what, babe, let's go on a vacation together, and then you don't want to talk to the other person, Gladiator.
A few years back, a buddy of mine had a big jacked up Jeep Wrangler. And, it was the big, enormous studded tires. And I was like, oh, it's the sexiest thing I've ever seen. And I got him to let me borrow it to run down the street for a couple quick errands. And the bop, 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 bop thing, just not worth it. Yeah.
All right, we got a bunch of things to get into. Nobody tuned in to hear us talk about Jeeps. This actually might be the episode that gets us murked over a weekend because we go deep in the APAC. But let's start off with maybe the last time of Who Said It. My friend Jerry Vandergrift kissed me in home ec class. Later in the afternoon, some guys in the locker room kicked my ass. I said, guys, I'm like you. I like monster trucks too. Want to see how many push-ups I can do? I just wish I was queer so I could get chicks. Who said it?
I know this one for a fact because I did my research. This was Pete Hegseth.
Yeah. Behind closed door when he was quoting Jimmy Pop of the Bloodhound Gang in a song that was called I Wish I Was Queer So I Could Get Chicks. It has a very catchy chorus. Highly recommend.
I was close.
One being right doesn't mean the other one has to be wrong.
Speaking of quick cleanups here, a bit of hate mail I got earlier this morning, bright and early, while nursing my broken pinky toe. This week's Listener of the Week is Boston J, who had a few inflammatory retorts regarding my hot take on poutine on Tuesday. Now, talked with Standards and Practices over at 64 Productions, and they will not allow me to repeat what he said to me verbatim. Spoiler, the first half got pretty racially insensitive and then weirdly accurate about my weight and body shape. But the gist of the second half of the email was gravy is universal and does not belong to any specific region. So essentially, he's making the case that gravy is a human right. To which I ask, where do we draw the line then? Does Tulsa get to raise the flag on your New England clam chowder, Boston J? Does Nebraska get to claim crab cakes? Or is all of a sudden Tombstone, Arizona the sushi kings of the world? No, they do not. So just like Canada, Boston J, stick in your own lane. And I hope you enjoy the 6040 Productions bumper sticker we're sending your way.
I don't know if you wanted to have a conversation there. Those were rhetorical questions because you skipped over the response part real quick.
Yes, those were all rhetorical. I will not be taking any comments and suggestions. Boston J already gave me plenty of those.
I'm on Team Boston J. Go F yourself.
I know you are, and that's why I did not leave any space for you to retort.
Well, actually, as I just said right now, I was actually going to go on your side, but you didn't leave any space for me to say my piece. Boston J for the win.
I preemptively nuked your attack that you were not going to do.
Literally nuked your own argument here, but we'll just migrate right on along to the Tesla ticker where less things make sense. Because it was 404 on Tuesday, 17 a day, and the only reason it went up is because of a SpaceX IPO. And in the IPO, it said, while we have a framework agreement with Tesla, neither Tesla nor Intel are obliged to remain a part of the project, and we may not enter into any such definitive agreement. That's what the SpaceX's filing was as far as a terafab factory, the one that's going to make all the microchips of them talking about it. And the two parties in there, Tesla and Intel, that are going to build it together, well, you see Tesla's stock went up. Intel stock actually fell. So it makes very little sense when that statement said both parties have no agreement, but one went up, one went down. So take that as you will.
So do you think the stock market just knows some more racist tweets are coming, or do you think there's like some other conspiracy about why only Elon's going up?
I mean, the fact that it actually went down for the first time is what I'm like, this thing's going up regardless of what happens. Like, it doesn't matter. So this makes sense.
Well, fair enough. Uncle Elon wins again somehow.
He's always winning. We talked about the fact that Putin was going to visit with Xi Jinping, and looks like that little drone strike did not do anything. Kind of didn't slow him down. Our leader went there, and he admitted that the U.S. was in a downward trajectory, and instead was reassured that they may be having cooperation. And when he walked out, did you see this giant, like, room-sized photograph of him and Xi Jinping together?
I did not know.
Yeah. So as he left, like, Putin left China, they brought him out to, like, a 10-foot high by 20 feet wide painting of the two of them hugging, and Trump went home with like a handful of rose seeds. As a lot of people took that as a slight, since he went ahead and paved over Rose Garden. Xi Jinping's like, hey buddy, why don't you plant something cultured in your yard for once?
He gave him seeds?
Rose seeds, because we got rid of the Rose Garden to make this stupid effing ballroom.
So this was just a giant FU then?
Yes!
You know what? Good. I'm pro-China on this one.
I mean, like, the whole thing is, like, China's kind of like the dominant player right now. Like, everybody went to Xi Jinping. Trump went there, and she got him to admit, like, the U.S. sucks. And, like, Trump in a heartbeat would jump on it and, like, yeah, sleepy Bonnie's like, no, I mean with you. Here's some rose seeds. Get the F out of here. And then Putin went down there, and she's essentially just raping Russia for all their resources. But they're all coming to him now. Like, that's the go-to player now.
Huh. The silent superpower doesn't seem so silent anymore, huh?
Yeah, the silent majority and everything else like that. But yeah, like I said, like when this war first started, like there was a lot of sanctions, so Russian oil kind of went out the window. A lot of people in Europe stopped buying it, so China came into the picture, and India came into the picture as well. And you can bet your rear end, they're getting that thing on the rock bottom dollar. But it's screwing over Russia, the fact that Putin keeps this war going. Go ahead.
So this just occurred to me. Do you think that Zelensky authorizing Putin to have his little parade has started like a whole new trend of snarkiness between world leaders?
When one kid points out the fact that like your pants are one size too small, and then everyone notices it and they just start dunking on you, I would imagine it possibly yes.
Oh man, world politics is about to get catty. I like it.
I mean, you would think that he's like, but Xi, check it out. I have my own phone. It's the T1. He's like, that's the stupidest phone ever. T-Mobile had it. Like, Damn it.
Well, pin in that.
Release the pin.
All right. Guess we're rolling into it. Speaking of T1, after getting torched over delays and fun messages about deposits not necessarily equaling this phone will ever be made, the first batch of the Trump T1s have finally shipped. So suck it, libs. The American-made best phone ever is actually a slightly modified 2024 model T-Mobile Revel 7 Pro 5G that's built right here in the good old, never mind. But I'm sure the gaudy ass gold skin casing popped on right here in the good old US of A. Also, that same phone without the gaudy golding casing goes for about $140 on Amazon with next day delivery. So you win again, Trumpsters.
I mean, the gaudy stuff is what makes it what you want it. Like, you can buy a giant red hat with custom lettering for, I don't know, $15. But from a Trump website, because you want to donate to this guy, it's going to be $50.
With hats, you can make an argument, because it's strictly opinion, that it is in fact the best phone ever. Whereas a 2024 Chinese model phone, it's hard to put that up against any other brand new phone that's 2 years newer.
It's like music back in the 90s. It hit the pinnacle of what you wanted. Kind of like cell phones maxed out back in 2024.
Bring back the indestructible Nextels. I've been saying it for years.
Sure, your way to happiness.
It's the best, honestly.
Yeah, one thing we need to bring back is some lower gas prices, but it looks like it's lower gas prices aren't happening anywhere right now. They did just start talking about the fact that they're finally negotiating with Iran again. But one thing that has come out is the UK went ahead and unsanctioned some of the Russian oil as well. They went ahead and they said something. He's like, yeah, it's as long as it's refined over in Turkey, it's not that bad, because they're getting crushed by these gas prices as well. There's a reason why we've been invading places in the Middle East for God knows how many years. But yeah, a lot of people are starting to lift their sanctions on the Russians, and it's not helping the Ukrainians.
No, and it's honestly giving any sociopath with a big red button on their desk any more money is probably just a terrible idea, unless it's us, of course.
Yeah. America first.
Yeah.
But it's just a heads up, like the gas prices aren't going to go down because Russia's output has gone up, because Ukraine went ahead and tested a balloon-launched drone system to extend the strike range. So the little country that could now has water drones. It's the leading nation of flying drones that carry missiles on them. And now they're like, hey man, like we've kind of maxed out everything. He's like, we need to get more range on these things. Like, what do we have laying around? It's like, these birthday balloons. He's like, freaking ingenious. And this right here can extend the range via the test that they just have done so far. It's an additional 40 kilometers, and the drone only used about 5% of its battery life. So it works.
I swear to you, it's like Zelensky went into one of Elon's K-holes and watched Terminator 2 and Home Alone at the same time and was like, guys, I got the best idea ever. And every idea is working. This guy is just rewriting the book on warfare, and he's going to the dollar store to do it. Could not respect this man anymore.
Like the fact that they used the balloon, and like, to extend our range, we would do something crazy. The military would spend God knows how much. And it kind of brought back the whole argument of back in the day during the space race, when we built, like, you can now buy it. It's like, it's the pen that writes upside down. And we blew millions of dollars on it through NASA. And the Soviets like, I don't know, why don't we just use a pencil, bro? It's like, all right, cool.
Buddy, I can't wait for next month when we're like, all right, so Ukraine did it again, this time sprawling millions of micro machines all over Russian roads and causing chaos.
They've used all spray cans as propellant to drive the balloons. Like, what do we got laying around? He's like, these old cans of WD-40. Like, how flammable are they? He's like, oh, real flammable.
Ukraine's just sneaking into Russian homes and putting exposed nails on their stairs. I'm telling you, it's like Home Alone. This guy is amazing.
Well, there's a reason why Russia's been conducting nuclear tests again, so that should tell you something.
Yeah, sorry. Our 3 week war here has gone a little over the top, and now they're kicking our aces with balloons. I love it.
3 weeks? Buddy, it was scheduled to be 3 days.
I was going to give him a little bit of benefit of the doubt, but screw it. Let's make Putin look worse.
So, well, let's bring it back home. I know last time we talked about the whole thing with Thomas Massey, and we found out that cash is still king. He went ahead and had the audacity to work with a Democrat, Ro Khanna, and he went ahead and tried to push for the release of the Epstein files. And Massey's been defeated. And you can't, honestly, but one takeaway that I took from this, like, you can't build an entire campaign screaming about the demon rats or Democrats, and they're out there abusing kids and run up in a Comet Pizza with an AR. And then when one guy comes out to release files where they actually have people who touch kids, you're like, well, that guy's got to go. He's not a very good Republican.
Yeah, that's because you're using logic when you're talking to the residents of Crazy Town. Little bit of pushback on this one. I see you're broadcasting from your home office. You got any tinfoil next to you?
Baby, I'm always wearing it. It's in the pants right now, just stopping those 5G towers.
Lined my walls and ceilings. So I've been seeing a ton of chatter over the past couple days. About did this nobody beat Massey this easily? So while reporting is mixed and no numbers have officially come out quite yet, it's starting to look a lot like they've had somewhere between 25 to 100% more voter turnout in District 4 of Kentucky than they have in all time, which is really starting to smell Starlinky to me. This, like, as you remember, Kamala had that huge wave of momentum and then somehow end up biffing the election. This is going to turn into one of those upstate New York trials, I think, where we're going to keep digging in. I don't think Massey lost.
No, there's a good chance that he didn't, but I don't think it was Starlink this time around. And it's what's it called? The one Facebook group that I'm a part of. It's like every Republican accusation's actually an admission. And they said, like, in the last couple hours of the election, about 10,000 mail-in ballots got dropped off. So they've been screaming about mail-in ballots being rigged and everything else. And it's the same thing when they screamed about, like, weaponization of government, like, doing it now. He's like, the Biden crime family, like, doing it now. Like, mail-in ballots, like, effort, let's go to the well. Like, we've been complaining about this. I think he got screwed over by mail-in ballots.
Yeah, and evidently from a couple of things I've read, it looks like the only way this works is if all 11,000 of those ballots were all for this nobody you've never heard of before, as opposed to Massey, who's been all over the news for well over a year, trying to bring pedophiles to justice. So you make it make sense.
Well, 25 million buys you a lot of votes. And what's it called? I also listened to some of the people, like they were doing exit polls. And I'm like, well, think about Massey. He's like, he's been working with the Democrats. He's not a really good Republican. Like, oh my God, you people suck. So you underestimate the power, like, stupidity has in that state.
I guess that is true. Florida has really taken over the beatings that Kentucky used to take on a pretty regular basis. So maybe I've given them too much credit. That's a great point.
Kentucky might still have the crown. They haven't been in the limelight for the longest time. But don't you forget, they can still swing.
They did keep McConnell in power forever.
So another thing that came around, it's again, yesterday or this week was actually a very good week for Trump. I mean, he's got a fistful of seeds for roses, and in Indiana, they went ahead and took out 5 senators who had the audacity to stop a redistricting efforts of the GOP. Not put it onto the ballots to let the people vote, but literally just jam it down everybody's throat. That is completely unconstitutional. So, Indiana, good job. You voted out the guys asking for fair representation.
Yeah, I don't understand this one. Maybe that MAGA Kool-Aid's still just coursing through their veins, no matter kind of what they do. It doesn't make sense to me. I mean, Indiana's not really known for anything like particularly good or, profitable, but sure, just keep chugging.
I mean, Indiana did produce a vice president that couldn't do his job the last election.
Yeah, and then all those Antifa guys dressed as MAGA guys said to hang him, right?
One of the funniest things I read about that is what's it called? Since they have a slush fund right now, they are literally paid protesters if they get payouts on this one.
Oh, so what I read was, why are we going to give all these feds and Antifa coverts that Biden sent a bunch of money now? It doesn't make sense to me.
Well, now they're not.
Oh yeah, just kidding. We weren't right that first time.
Did you read about the panel of people approving all this?
I heard it's going to be a panel of 5, and that was the last I read of it before my head exploded.
It's a panel of 5. I think all of them can get fired by Trump if he wants to. I think one's going to be elected by Congress. So essentially, panel of 5 elected by Trump. But it's like one guy, I forgot who it was, but he brought up a very good message. He's like, hey man, it took us effing years to pay the people like who were victims of 9/11. But like we have an almost 2 billion slush fund for guys with felonies who killed cops. He's like, that's how we roll now.
Yeah, can't say Trump isn't getting it done, I guess. I
Just
hate this place.
racing the wheels of justice. But his word is so good because down in Georgia, there's a guy named Rick Jackson. And he's running for governor, and he's labeling himself as an ally of Trump. And Jackson's a billionaire who runs an insurance company, so he's a very, very likable guy. And he spent about $80 million of his own money buying ads where he's like linking himself to Trump. But weird thing is that Trump has come out and says like, no man, he's like, I'm all about Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones. He's like, I didn't endorse Rick Jackson.
Yeah, it's weird. He spent 80 million of his own cash where you can honestly buy a pardon for 1 million. So it just goes to show you guys, billionaires, rich doesn't mean smart.
Well, I mean, he spent it on ads instead of buying stupid, what's it called, Trump stock or Trump coins. If he had actually spent the money like and given it to Trump, I would imagine he would have had this endorsement by now. But he's been making ads and be like, I'm cool with Trump. We're best friends. Like, no, we're not. I haven't seen any of your money.
I mean, $80 million is an insane, honestly, it's an insane number, and to just blow it on TV ads, that's money that could have gone to bombs for Israel. I mean, come on.
We'll get more to that one, but to finish it up here, the fact that the Trump endorsement is still huge, it makes no sense to me. He tanks the economy, like jacks up inflation, starts a war, bombs 8 countries. He's on the effing Epstein list, and, well, this is the one that affects everyone. Gas prices are through the effing roof. Like, what are you people doing? And he endorsed Ken Paxton down there, and he's going to go ahead and move on to go against James Tallarico. And a lot of people in the GOP, obviously, without naming themselves in public media, because then they'll get destroyed, they think that Paxton was actually the guy going against him would have been a much better candidate. And I've honestly bought Tallarico t-shirts. I'm not from Texas. I represent our state of Arizona, but Tallarico's a good guy, and I can't wait till they went ahead and crucify him and call him the Antichrist and everything else in the smear campaign.
Yeah, I can't wait. Here's my problem with Tallarico. Honestly, nicest guy in the world, speaks eloquently and softly, works on all demographics. And I don't think he's going to bring up that Ken Paxton just got his buddies in Texas who was molesting a child for 3 years, a 60-day jail sentence, because Texas is so tough on crime and whatnot. And I just think he's too classy to bring it up, whereas someone like me in Congress, running for Congress would have banner. I would have it written in the sky.
Tallarico's also a very religious guy, and he actually knows like the Bible. He, instead of just holding it upside down after surrounded by tear gas protesters, like he's actually read it, he's preached it. And if Texas is still a God-loving state, I don't know. As long as they don't count it via Starlink, I think we should be all right.
Yeah, the problem is the voting Christians don't actually care about what that stupid Bible says. They care about, taking away black people's votes. So that's what real Christianity is all about.
Abortion still canceled? Like, good. I like where this is going.
I'm a big Jesus believer, and even though that was never once mentioned in the Bible, I know that's what he meant, and that's why he sent us Trump.
Not in those homos. Like, Jesus talked a lot about those homos and women and men's sports. Like, that was the biggest thing for Jesus. Like, no, it wasn't. But let's jump into this one real quick, because this is the part that's going to get at least me killed. Have you heard of Ben Gavir?
I have.
What do you know about old Benny here?
I know that tub of lard was recently waving a flag around a bunch of zip-tied detainees, but can you tell me more about him?
So let me give you a little bit of background before we get into his hype video that we did. So he what's it called? We told you about the Samud flotilla, that they were up there, and they went ahead and Israel yoked them all up in international waters. And Ben Gavir is a member of Bibi's administration. He's been in charge of national security since 2022, and he's the leader of the Otzma Yehudit party, which translates literally to Jewish power. And honestly, I feel like we're far enough along in this country to start a Christian power group, or I don't know, skin color power group. And I don't think we're a couple days away from that. But he's been in charge of national security since 2022, except for a small amount of time in 2025. Can you guess why that was?
No. What was he doing in 2025?
In 2025, he threatened to resign. And he threatened to resign because they had worked out a ceasefire deal with the Palestinians. No, with Gaza. So he resigned on January 19th in 2025, and he only came back 2 months later after they went ahead and continued the airstrikes on Gaza. He's like, well, this I could get behind.
Well, I'm not a big military buff, but from everything we've talked about on this podcast, it seems like ceasefires really only last about 4 to 6 hours. So what was he doing the other 2 months?
The ceasefires from the other side.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah. One side keeps on bombing while the other one's supposed to stop.
Okay, well, thank you for clarifying. Now, please go on about this smug SOB.
So, I gave you guys a background in case you haven't seen it. He went ahead, like the video that he made, it was him getting on the ships. Well, it was the ships, it was also detention places, and he was just doing like a victory lap. And if you haven't seen the video, just type in Ben-GVIR, and it should definitely pop up there. It shouldn't be an issue. And you'll see him walking around. He's got like the Israeli flag he's waving. There's another one where it's actually on a ship, and there's Connex boxes all around, and one side is porta-johns, and everyone's on their knees with their face down, and you see soldiers up top with ARs looking up on them. You'll see another clip where just a mother's just screaming out for her children. And the most famous one that I personally like, I was like, oh God. It's a dude like in zip ties on his hands and knees pleading to Ben, and he's just laughing at him and pointing down to him. And this wasn't like leaked video he didn't want to come out. This came out on his Twitter account. Like he put this up himself.
Yeah, this was a produced video he did. And for those of you looking for it, it's spelled BEN-GVIR. And if you can't follow that, just type in most punchable face, and it should be the first video that pops up. The smug look on this a-hole's face, I swear to you, it can make you mad even before he does anything else.
This is the same guy who led the whole thing where he had the lapel pin I told you guys about, that with the noose. His wife baked him a cake. And his wife actually got a little bit of trouble because she's like, yeah, when I travel with my husband, he's like, I kind of feel like the spouse of a soldier. Like, what the hell?
Well, he certainly looks like a soldier with those six-pack abs and those big bulging muscles.
He needs to go to the front lines.
God. All right, never mind. Getting mad. I can feel myself getting hot. Please continue.
Needless to say, this was not a good look, and BB went ahead and he had all the people who were pretty much taken from that flotilla, and he had them sent back straight to their countries. Like, and just to let it all sink in for a second, the guy who's been telling you Iran's got a nuclear weapon since 2005 is the rational one here. And Italy, France, Netherlands, and Canada have all summoned their Israeli diplomat to have a nice deep word with him. And the following have went ahead and denounced it pretty bad. South Korea, Portugal, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, Greece, Poland, Qatar, Slovenia, Turkey, Austria, Belgium, Colombia, and the United Kingdom. Now they've all come out publicly and said something against it. What do you think we as a country did?
The United States was in that was in that list, right?
Wrong. United Kingdom.
Why isn't the United States on that list? What happened?
Well, we came out with a very strong condemnation. Do you know who our ambassador to Israel is?
Is that Huckabee, I think?
Yeah. L'chaim Mike Huckabee is, and he came out and he said Ben Gavir betrayed the dignity of his nation by publishing the footage. You notice that type of wording in there. the fact that he betrayed the dignity of his nation by actually putting up a video. Like, what the hell?
So he didn't actually condemn what he did. He condemned it being the footage being posted.
Yes.
Oh, I smell a running theme.
So, again, if it hasn't been a drone strike on me yet, I think there will be after this one. One of the things, like when I was looking at this, I found something is called Hasbara. And it's the little translation, it's translation and means explanation. And if you think you've been getting like Israeli propaganda the past God knows how many years, I'm here to tell you that take off the tinfoil, it literally has been going. This has been happening. It's essentially just kind of like, and I would imagine every country does it. Like Russia's always saying how Ukraine's full of Nazis, and then they're paying, what's it called, Benny Johnson a whole boatload of cash to go ahead and shill that too. Israel's been doing the same thing as well. Go ahead.
Don't forget Tim Pool.
That's right. That stupid hat wearing freak.
Verified. But continue, sorry.
Israel's been doing this for a hot minute. And I mean, you need to have some kind of a propaganda arm after you go ahead and take a Reaper drone to a World Food Bank truck. I'm sorry, 2 World Food Bank trucks. And in 2023, it's come out, and this may or may not be accurate. It is from a Palestinian news source, so we do have a little horse in the race. But they are saying that in 2023, the amount that they were spending on Hasbara was about $15 million. Would you like to care to guess what the projection is for 2026?
Well, with our new skyrocketed inflation, I'm gonna say 20 million.
$700 million.
Jesus. Yikes.
That is a little bit more than a 10-fold. That is a little bit more than a 20-fold. I don't know. I'm not good at math. 30, 40-fold maybe?
Well, just is maybe we're being anti-Semitic and this is just Trump's inflation.
That's exactly what it is. It is 46-fold.
All right, well, sticking with our favorite country we're not supposed to talk about, hundreds of pro-Israeli protesters gathered in front of the New York Times building last week to protest an op-ed written by Nicholas Kristof about the widespread sexual abuse by the IDF on Palestinian detainees in Israel. Just like Huckabee, the protest was kicked off when Bibi announced his plans to sue the New York Times for blood libel and anti-Semitic blah, 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 same old BS. And here's the Huckabee part. My issue with this asinine protest is at the basis of it, the protesters aren't mad about the raping. Hell, they're not even denying it. They're upset because Kristof didn't mention anything about Hamas's sexual abuse of Israelis, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, of which no concrete evidence has been found as of this recording. I mean, if they had video of Hamas using riot shields to poorly block security cameras while they gang raped Israeli prisoners, it would be front page news, am I right? So F these protesters and F Bibi while we're at it.
What are they capturing Israelis? Like, it's a drone warfare from the air. Like, those guys are just getting murked.
Yeah. It's, I mean, show me the area that you left for them to have a prison to do this in.
Like, what are they capturing? Like, I understand when it first the October like break-in and yada yada back then, but y'all milked that thing to its last days.
Wait a minute. Maybe Hamas is raping their Israeli prisoners on the flotillas, and this is all just a big misunderstanding. Or maybe they're just monsters and think they get a free pass because they're chosen or whatever.
I do like how the protest is like, we're victims too.
That rape video, they had to have a guy come in and lower the shields because you could still see the rape happening at their feet. And somehow you're mad at Hamas? No, this is Kristof's fault for writing about it.
You spend $700 million, you keep it going. I actually had a chance to take a look at Nicholas Donabet Kristof. Did you do anything on him? Did you look at who he is?
No, I got sick of reading about the rapes of prisoners, so I called it a day on this.
So, in case we want to go ahead and go after the credibility of Nicholas here, let's just go into him real quick. Our boy went ahead and graduated from Harvard. And he's like, you know what? I'm kind of not good enough for this. I'm going to be a Rhodes Scholar and where? Oxford. He went ahead and he got 2 Pulitzers. Like, the guy's been around for God knows. Like, he knows what he's talking about. He's talked about what's it called, the war in Darfur. And he's actually, where was it? He was made by Tutu a honorary African because of all the stuff that he's talked about that was going on in Darfur.
Well, he certainly sounds like a troublemaker, and I'm glad BB's finally going to stick it to him with this lawsuit.
Can't wait till Mike Huckabee denounces Nicholas.
This is why I still get high every night.
So, we've got the thing is, we still have Memorial Day. We have a couple more weeks and months before Trump's birthday, and secondary, the nation's birthday, and possibly sell-by date. But I don't think we'll be seeing you guys on Tuesday. Might be a little bit of an extended break. See if we can put something together. But either way, we'll try to come back next week. I'm Alex Midway. Everybody have a wonderful time. Blow off a finger or two.
And I'm Eric Halsey. And remember to stay in your lane, Boston J.
Daddy, chill.
Later, Gators.